While talking about poop is something that makes kids and most moms and dads, if we're being honest, smile and laugh and chuckle, when we're talking about chronic constipation for kids, it's a serious situation. Some research estimate that, really depending on the diagnostic criteria, up to like 25 to 30% of kids are struggling with constipation on a regular basis. And now the challenge is not necessarily whether it's officially constipation or not. It's the fact that constipation is simply a sign or a symptom of something more going on within the child's body. And that's exactly why it's connected to so many other common childhood conditions like autism, like anxiety, sensory processing disorder, developmental delays, and even things like ADHD. And chronic constipation greatly impacts a child's quality of life, and it causes all sorts of challenges within our immune system, within our sleep, our energy, behavioral and emotional regulation, and quite a bit more. One of the common threads that I see within my practice is that kids whose speech may be a little bit more delayed or impacted is that the effect that constipation has on their body can actually create a regression within their sleep, and a lot of time, or within their speech, I should say. And a lot of times what I'll actually find is that when we can get their nervous system more regulated and they're eating and sleeping and pooping and calming with ease, a lot of times the speech is then what follows, simply because the nervous system is more regulated, their body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and we're supporting neurodevelopment. So that way we have the environment for development and things like speech to then take hold. If your child is struggling with chronic constipation, and if you've tried every single diet change, prune juice, probiotics, magnesium, enemas, and especially if you've tried Miralax for your child, then this video is for you, because we're going to go into the science, go into the nitty-gritty, and we're going to break down the real root cause as to what constipation really is. And it's going to go far beyond nutritional imbalances. It's going to go far beyond gut health. And what we're really going to do within this video is get you the drug-free options so that way you can help your child heal and greatly increase their quality of life. So please share this with other moms and other parents who need to hear this message and hear this information for their kids. One of the most common trends that I'll see within my practice is that these kids, whether it's the littlest of babies or our toddlers or even some of our older kids, whether there's complex neurological issues or not, is that these struggles typically come in threes, and then they create more things down the road. So a lot of times these kiddos aren't eating or feeding well, they're not sleeping well, and they're not pooping well. And all of that creates a big storm into them not being able to calm down well. And so one of the cool things is when we are able to influence the brain and nervous system, you're able to impact and influence all of that. And so with all of that fun science and all of that information, we're just going to jump straight into it. Now, when we're talking about chronic constipation, it's not just genetic, and it's not solely a nutritional imbalances either. It's a neurological imbalance. And the vast majority of our patients at Haven Family Chiropractic that are or have been struggling with chronic constipation, they've already tried diet changes. They've tried probiotics, they've tried magnesium supplements and enemas and Miralax and all of the things that are out there. And they've seen little change to no change in their child's constipation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that nutrition and these other things aren't important and that they're not involved. But what it simply means is that there is more going on. And clinically, what we find in the vast majority of chronic constipation cases is that it's actually neurogenic in nature, meaning that there is too much stress and tension stuck on a child's sympathetic nervous system. And then the muscles of the digestive tract that are causing motility, they're being reduced, and then our chronic constipation then sets in. And the other thing that we'll see too with some of this is that chronic constipation or constipation in general, it's strongly correlated with other conditions. And neurologically, this is what's referred to within our office as a subluxation and dysautonomia, which is really just two big nerdy words that means stress stuck on to the nervous system, or a big, large imbalance within our autonomic or the automatic part of our nervous system, simply because we don't have to tell our bodies how to poop. It just does. And so when our nervous system is in more of this sympathetic fight or flight protective mode and it's out of balance, this is specifically when we start to see the very, very large impact within our gut and our digestive system, mainly because we're trying to conserve energy for our skeletal muscles to then fight and run from a bear or run away and freeze. And so when this happens, it then takes away energy, information, and resources from the muscles of our digestive tract, because our body is not necessarily concerned with digesting the food that we just ate and pooping it out if our bodies are constantly perceiving as if we're running from a bear. And this is a big, big reason as to why we see chronic constipation in so many other conditions as well. Things like autism and sensory processing disorder, ADHD and anxiety and so forth. And it's really because they stem from all of the same neurological imbalances and dysautonomia. What's really interesting is that when we talk about subluxation and dysautonomia and the sympathetically stuck on nervous system, is that chronic constipation responds incredibly well to the vagus nerve and parasympathetic stimulation. And so what's really, really cool is that through neurologically focused chiropractic adjustments, this is exactly what we accomplish. And the number one way to get a child's body out of a stuck fight or flight pattern is with neurologically focused chiropractic care. And so one of the cool things is the focus of our adjustment is to really stimulate that vagus nerve and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is then in turn what stimulates and activates digestive motility and relaxation. In our office, we jokingly call this hitting the poop button. And quite often for little ones especially, it works almost immediately. Some of these babies are pooping as their moms are handing them to me when they get to the table, and their diapers are filled, and then they have to run to the bathroom and immediately either go get changed prior adjustment, during adjustment, or directly after adjustment. And this is such a relief for these parents to see changes happen so quickly and so naturally without dangerous drugs like Miralax or the use of suppositories or any of the other big changes. And so as we finish out, to really learn more about chiropractic care and if it could help to get to the root cause of your child's chronic constipation and provide relief, visit the link in our bio, learn more, comment below, or even send us a DM, because we are always here and